The city of Palm Springs is moving forward with a plan to ask city leaders whether they will right the wrongs of the past when it comes to removal of the mostly minority residents from Section 14. Tonight, News Channel 3's John White is going in depth on where potential litigation stands right now in his I-Team report, Forced Removal, What's Next?
Section 14 is this area of land right next to downtown Palm Springs. The city helped clear properties belonging to Agua Caliente landholders for future development in the 1960s. We brought you in-depth coverage on this for years now, with a group called Section 14 Survivors demanding reparations for the city's actions into the hundreds of millions of dollars potentially. Now, newly released correspondence between the city's attorney and the attorney for that group reveal just how far apart the two sides remain.
We are significantly apart, and again, we hope that we can bridge that gap.
They have mentioned figures that go into the hundreds of millions. There have been discussions about it. I don't think there's been any sort of formal offer on that.
On one side, the mayor of Palm Springs, Jeffrey Bernstein. On the other, the attorney representing the group Section 14 Survivors and Descendants, Areva Martin. Both agree the city played a role in the clearing of Section 14, with the homes and property of mostly minority residents being burned and bulldozed after the Agua Caliente Tribal Council won the right to do long-term leasing, greatly increasing the value of their land. Martin says responsibility for what happened lies with the city.
The city acknowledged that it was the city's fire department and it was the actions of the city, the decisions of the city to burn and to upend and to demolish the homes of those individuals who were living on Section 14.
We have come back again this year with our city council statement, is recognizing again that we need to right some of the wrongs of the time, and we outlined a process in which we're going to do that.
Pages and pages of newly released correspondence between the city and Section 14 group over the past year show the two sides are having difficulty finding common ground when it comes to the city's financial liability. On April 11th, the City Council committed to taking a number of steps, including more affordable housing, economic opportunities, exploring a healing center dedicated to Section 14, hiring a consultant for a historical context study, creating a day of remembrance, and direct payments to some of the residents displaced from Section 14. $4.3 million to be split among the residents from 145 homes.
Come up with the value of what and we have documents that show values of homes on that property at that time, and that was about $2,000. We've come up with the present day value of that.
Martin says that's not enough, but won't put a number on it right now.
Hundreds of millions have been talked about, but again, I've not made any official demand for a number. You see in the letters, if you've read those letters, you don't see any number indicated in any of those letters. I hope we continue to negotiate and that we reach a resolution that's satisfactory to all parties. I'd rather the city spend money making these clients whole rather than spending millions of dollars in attorney's fees.
What we have, again, as all of City Council has agreed, that what we are working on is what makes sense and what would be acceptable to the entire community. Some people may not like it, but will most importantly be healing to move this process forward.
The mayor says the city is going to move forward with the rest of its plan to address Section 14, regardless of whether the direct payments portion is settled. The city has also posted fact sheets and a lot of documentation showing what the city's role was in the clearing of that land. You can find links to all of that and all of the correspondence between the attorneys by clicking on this story at KESQ.com. John White, News Channel 3.